The world of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra is filled with some seriously OP characters and spirits, many of whom could have probably ended the 100-Year War in a single episode if they really wanted to. Today, we're diving into the top 25 strongest characters in the entire Avatar universe. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around to see who takes the #1 spot. Just a quick heads up, we'll be including not just the strongest benders, but also spirits and entities. With that out of the way, let's get right into it. Oh, and if you enjoy, don't forget to subscribe and like the video for more deep dives into the Avatarverse. At our 25th spot, we have Zuko, the exiled prince of the Fire Nation, and later, Fire Lord. Zuko's journey is one of the most compelling in the entire Avatar universe, as he transforms from a hot-headed, conflicted teenager obsessed with capturing Aang into one of the wisest characters in the show. I wonder where he got that from. Zuko's firebending began as raw and intense, driven by anger, but as he matured and found inner peace, his firebending technique became more refined and powerful. One of his most impressive abilities is lightning redirection, a technique he learned from his uncle Iroh, which allowed him to redirect Azula's lightning during their climactic Agni Kai. While Zuko isn't as naturally gifted in firebending as his sister Azula, his combination of resilience, emotional growth, and eventual skill in leadership makes him a truly powerful figure. In my opinion, by the end of The Legend of Korra, Zuko had far surpassed both Ozai and Azula in terms of raw power. After all, Zuko not only defeated Azula in the final battle, but also became the Fire Lord committed to restoring balance to the world, all at the age of 16. His commitment to peace and justice helped bring an end to centuries of Fire Nation oppression. If Fire Lord Zuko is this far down the list, I don't even want to imagine the characters further up on the list. Moving on, we have Hama, the waterbender who pioneered the dark art of bloodbending. Hama's story is a tragic one. Captured by the Fire Nation during the 100-Year War, Hama developed bloodbending out of necessity, using it to manipulate her captors and eventually escape. This terrifying ability allowed her to control the water inside a person's body, essentially turning them into puppets. Hama's bloodbending abilities were limited to the full moon, but even with this restriction, her power was fearsome. She used bloodbending to exact revenge on the Fire Nation, manipulating villagers to disappear in an attempt to terrorize her captors. Her skill in waterbending extended far beyond combat. She also mastered traditional techniques, but it was her willingness to tap into dark powers that made her truly dangerous. Hama's story takes a darker turn when she passes her knowledge on to Katara during the events of Avatar: The Last Airbender. While Hama's bloodbending abilities were eventually surpassed by Katara, her role as the originator of the technique earns her a spot on this list. Next up, we have someone who's no stranger to tier lists. King Bumi is an eccentric yet incredibly powerful earthbender, one of the few people Aang considers a true friend from his childhood. Despite his age, Bumi's strength is immense. He is not only a master of earthbending, but his strategic mind makes him even more formidable. Bumi believes that earthbending is more than just brute force. It's about using the environment creatively, which is why his bending often looks unpredictable. One of Bumi's most impressive feats was single-handedly retaking Omashu from the Fire Nation. He did this without the use of his hands, bending with nothing but his chin, showcasing his advanced mastery of earthbending. Bumi's ability to bend with minimal movement is a rare skill that few earthbenders possess, setting him apart from others. Though Bumi often comes across as quirky and carefree, his wisdom and power are undeniable. His understanding of patience and timing in battle make him one of the most effective benders in the world, proving that even the most unconventional methods can lead to great success. Katara is not just one of the most talented waterbenders of her time, but one of the most versatile benders in the entire series. Her journey from a novice waterbender in the Southern Water Tribe to a master capable of healing, combat bending, and blood bending without the full moon is one of the most impressive arcs in the series. Throughout the 100-Year War, Katara played a critical role in key battles, often outshining more experienced benders. One of Katara's defining moments was her defeat of Hama, where she resisted the pull of bloodbending's dark power despite mastering it. She was able to bloodbend without the aid of a full moon, a skill only a handful of benders ever learned. Beyond combat, Katara's healing abilities are second to none. She's able to use waterbending to heal wounds and even revive those on the brink of death. But her strength wasn't just in her bending. It was in her compassion and leadership. Katara constantly served as the moral compass for Aang and the rest of the gang. Her ability to keep a level head, even in the most intense situations, makes her one of the most well-rounded and powerful benders in the series. Tenzin, the son of Avatar Aang, is the embodiment of the air nomad way of life, both spiritually and physically. As one of the last airbenders at the beginning of The Legend of Korra, Tenzin carried the weight of his father's legacy, and he did so with grace and determination. Tenzin's airbending mastery is impressive, especially considering that airbending is often seen as the least offensive of the bending arts. Tenzin's true strength lies in his deep spiritual connection, which he used to guide Korra through her own journey of self-discovery. His combat abilities were showcased during his intense battle against Zahir, where he held his own against the Red Lotus leader for an extended period, despite being outnumbered and outmatched in many ways. Though Tenzin isn't as physically powerful as some of the other characters on this list, his profound connection to the spiritual world, his mastery of airbending techniques like the air wheel, and his calm, steady leadership make him a critical figure in the Avatar universe. Next up, we have everybody's favorite character, Uncle Iroh. Also known as the Dragon of the West, Iroh is easily one of the most powerful firebenders in Avatar: The Last Airbender. But let's be real, his true strength lies not just in his bending, but in his wisdom, compassion, and ability to drop life-changing advice while sipping a perfectly brewed cup of jasmine tea. Iroh's firebending skills are legendary. He's one of the only benders known to have faced, and lived to tell the tale, of slaying a dragon, earning him his iconic title. However, in true Iroh fashion, he didn't actually kill the last dragons. Instead, he learned from them, preserving their legacy while mastering the ancient and purest form of firebending, one that draws from the warmth of life itself, not anger or hatred. It's no surprise that he's often seen as one of the few firebenders who understands the true meaning behind the art, bending with grace and purpose rather than sheer aggression. One of his most remarkable feats was his ability to redirect lightning, a technique he personally invented after studying waterbending. Because of course, Iroh is the kind of guy who casually invents one of the most useful and life-saving techniques in bending history over a light afternoon study session. When he passed this knowledge on to Zuko, it became a defining tool that helped his nephew grow as a firebender and as a person. Up next, we have Toph Beifong, the inventor of metal bending and one of the most iconic earthbenders. She takes the 19th spot on our list. Despite being blind, Toph's unique use of seismic sense allowed her to see the world around her through vibrations in the earth, giving her an edge over almost any opponent. Toph's natural talent and innovation in metal bending set her apart from all other earthbenders. Toph discovered that by focusing on the tiny particles of earth within metal, she could bend metal, a feat previously thought impossible. This discovery revolutionized earthbending and paved the way for future generations of metal benders. In battle, Toph was nearly unbeatable. Her seismic sense allowed her to anticipate her enemies' movements, making her one of the most effective fighters in both Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. In addition to her personal accomplishments, Toph went on to establish the Republic City Metalbending Police Force, ensuring that her legacy would live on long after her time. Tarlok, the ambitious councilman of Republic City, inherited the dangerous power of bloodbending from his father, Yakone. Tarlok used this ability to manipulate others both physically and politically, and he did so without the aid of a full moon. This level of bloodbending is rare and incredibly dangerous, allowing Tarlok to gain control over his opponents with ease. While Tarlok was initially presented as a manipulative politician, his backstory revealed the deep trauma he carried from his upbringing. His ultimate showdown with his brother Amon showcased just how tragic and powerful both brothers were. Though Tarlok's end came with a shocking and emotional sacrifice, his skill in bloodbending and his ability to influence the political landscape of Republic City make him a key figure in the Avatar universe. Amon, also known as Noatak, was the leader of the Equalists and one of the most dangerous villains in The Legend of Korra. Like his brother Tarlok, Amon mastered bloodbending at a young age, and he took it a step further by developing the ability to bloodbend without hand movements or the need for a full moon. This made him seem invincible to his enemies. Amon used his bloodbending to block a person's chai, effectively taking away their bending abilities, which struck fear into benders across Republic City. Amon's ability to strip people of their bending, combined with his political political genius, allowed him to lead a massive anti-bender revolution. His fearsome power, along with his tragic backstory, made him one of the most memorable and complex villains in the series. Though he was eventually defeated, Amon's legacy as one of the most terrifying bloodbenders lives on. Zahir, the leader of the Red Lotus, began as a non-bender, but after the harmonic convergence, he gained the ability to airbend and quickly became one of the most dangerous threats to the world. Zahir's deep philosophical understanding of freedom and chaos drove him to want to dismantle all forms of government, and his bending abilities only made him more formidable. Zahir mastered airbending in an incredibly short amount of time, and eventually learned how to fly, a skill no other airbender had achieved since Guru Lagima. His battle with Tenzin showed just how powerful he had become in such a short span. Zahir's ability to fly, combined with his deep connection to the philosophies of airbending, made him nearly impossible to defeat, and it was only through Korra's persistence that he was finally stopped. Zahir's strength wasn't just in his bending, but in his ability to inspire followers and lead the Red Lotus to nearly topple the entire world order. If you haven't heard of Yun, you're missing out on one of the most powerful and underrated characters in the Avatar universe. Yun was initially believed to be the Avatar before it was revealed that Kyoshi was the true Avatar. Despite not being the Avatar, Yun was an absolute prodigy when it came to earthbending. His precision and control over the element were unmatched. He could manipulate the earth down to the smallest particles with deadly accuracy. Yun's story in the Kyoshi novels is one of betrayal, power, and vengeance. He was cast aside after being wrongly identified as the Avatar, and this led him down a dark path. Yun's ability to kill enemies with a single pebble, as well as his immense control over the environment around him, makes him one of the strongest benders in the extended Avatar universe. If you haven't read the Kyoshi novels yet, you should definitely check them out. Yun's rise and fall is a deeply compelling story, and his earth-bending feats put him on par with the greatest benders in history. Avatar Kuruk, the predecessor of Kyoshi, was a powerful waterbender who spent much of his time battling dark spirits. Though Kuruk is often portrayed as a carefree avatar, his true story is far more tragic. His life was filled with endless battles against the likes of Ko, the Face Stealer, and other dark entities. These constant battles took a toll on his health, shortening his life significantly. Kuruk's ability to fight in both the physical and spiritual realms makes him unique among avatars. Though he was never able to fully defeat Ko, his bravery and willingness to confront dark forces head-on show his incredible strength. Kuruk may not have had the longevity of avatars like Kyoshi, but his skill in waterbending and his relentless battle against evil spirits earn him a spot on this list. Avatar Roku, the predecessor to Aang, was an incredibly powerful avatar with mastery over all four elements. His most significant conflict came against his former friend, Fire Lord Sozin, who sought to expand the Fire Nation's influence across the world. Roku's battle with Sozin during the eruption of a volcano demonstrated his ability to command firebending and earthbending with devastating power. Roku's greatest downfall was his emotional connection to Sozin, which prevented him from stopping the 100-Year War before it began. Despite his failure, Roku's bending abilities were unmatched, and his deep connection to the Avatar state allowed him to channel the full power of all four elements in combat. His wisdom, spiritual depth, and powerful bending make him one of the strongest avatars in history. Avatar Yangchen is often referred to as one of the most spiritual and effective avatars in history. As an air nomad, Yangchen understood the delicate balance between the physical and spiritual worlds, and she was known for maintaining peace across the four nations through diplomacy and negotiation, rather than brute force. While Yangchen wasn't known for engaging in major battles, her ability to prevent conflict before it happened was her greatest strength. She was a master airbender, capable of using the full range of airbending techniques, but her true power lay in her wisdom and her ability to keep the world in balance without needing to resort to violence. Avatar Sito, the Fire Nation. Avatar, who lived during a time of great political unrest, was known more for his strategic mind than his combat skills. Zito used his influence and intelligence to navigate the political complexities of the Fire Nation, preventing civil wars and unrest during his time as Avatar. Though Zito may not have been as physically powerful as avatars like Kyoshi or Roku, his ability to manipulate the political landscape and ensure stability makes him one of the most influential avatars. Avatar Korra was born with a natural talent for bending and mastered water, earth, and fire at an incredibly young age. Throughout her journey, Korra faced some of the most dangerous enemies in the Avatar Avatar universe, including Amon, Zahir, and Unalaq. Korra's strength wasn't just in her physical abilities, but in her resilience and determination. Korra's greatest feat was reconnecting the physical and spiritual worlds, allowing spirits and humans to coexist peacefully once again. Her battle with Unavatu during harmonic convergence showed her full mastery of the Avatar state, as well as her connection to the spirit of light, Raava. Korra's journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth make her one of the most well-rounded and powerful avatars of her time. At number 9, we have Avatar Aang, the last airbender and the hero of the 100-Year War. Aang's mastery of all 4 elements was impressive, but his true strength lay in his connection to the Avatar state. His final battle with Fire Lord Ozai during Sozin's Comet was a demonstration of Aang's incredible power, as he bent all 4 elements simultaneously while in the Avatar state. What makes Aang unique is his compassion and desire to find peaceful solutions. Instead of killing Ozai, Aang used energy bending to strip the Fire Lord of his bending, bringing an end to the war without taking a life. Aang's ability to combine immense power with deep spirituality and morality makes him one of the strongest avatars in history. The Mother of Faces is one of the most ancient and powerful spirits in the Avatar universe. She holds the ability to change the faces of any living being, giving her control over identity and appearance. The Mother of Faces is responsible for giving Ko, the face stealer, his ability to steal faces, making her one of the most influential spirits in the world. Though she doesn't engage in physical combat, her ability to alter someone's identity and her deep knowledge of the spiritual world make her a formidable force. Her power lies not in destruction, but in creation, which sets her apart from other spirits who wield more overtly destructive abilities. Avatar Kyoshi was one of the most powerful avatars, known for her incredible physical strength and her legendary earthbending abilities. Kyoshi's most famous feat was the creation of Kyoshi Island, which she separated from the mainland using earthbending. Her combat skills were unmatched, and she was known for her ruthless efficiency in maintaining balance. Kyoshi's pragmatic approach to being the Avatar often led her to take drastic measures, including killing her enemies when necessary. Her long lifespan, over 230 years, allowed her to influence the world for generations, and her legacy lived on through the Kyoshi warriors. The lion turtles are ancient beings who existed before the Avatar. These godlike creatures granted humans the ability to bend elements, long before bending became a natural part of the world. Each lion turtle held the power of one of the 4 elements: earth, fire, water, and air, and they passed these powers on to humans when they needed to defend themselves from spirit. Lion turtles played a critical role in Avatar Wan's journey, helping him master all 4 elements and eventually merge with Raava to become the first Avatar. The sheer size and power of the lion turtles make them some of the most influential and ancient beings in the Avatar world. Koizilla, or the ocean spirit, was an unstoppable force during the Siege of the North. When the moon spirit was killed, Aang merged with the ocean spirit to become Koizilla, a massive creature that obliterated entire fleets of Fire Nation ships. This powerful combination of human and spirit was one of the most destructive forces we've ever seen in the Avatar universe. Koizilla's size, strength, and connection to the ocean made it one of the most fearsome entities in the world. Though its time on screen was brief, the devastation caused by Koizilla left a lasting impact, proving that the spirits wield power beyond anything a human bender could achieve. When Unalaq merged with Vatu during harmonic convergence, he became Unavatu, a dark avatar intent on spreading chaos and destruction. While Unavatu could only bend water, his connection to Vatu gave him immense power, allowing him to create massive tidal waves and attack Republic City with terrifying force. Though Korra ultimately defeated him, Unavatu's threat to the world was unparalleled. His combination of spiritual and physical power made him one of the greatest threats to balance in the world, and his temporary merger with Vatu put him on a level few could reach. During harmonic convergence, Korra merged with the ocean spirit, becoming a massive entity similar to Koizilla. In this form, Korra was able to battle Unavatu on equal footing, showing her mastery of both the Avatar state and her connection to the spirits. Korrazilla's size and power were nearly unmatched, making Korra one of the most powerful avatars in history during this brief moment. The sheer destructive potential of Korrazilla put her on a level beyond even most avatars, cementing her place as one of the most formidable figures in the Avatar universe. Vatu, the spirit spirit of chaos and darkness, is the eternal enemy of Raava, the spirit of light. Every 10,000 years, Vaatu and Raava battle during harmonic convergence to determine the fate of the world. Vaatu's power lies in his ability to spread chaos, destruction, and disorder wherever he goes. When he merged with Unalaq, his power grew exponentially, creating the terrifying entity Unavaatu. Though Vaatu was defeated by Korra, his influence over the world remains profound. As the embodiment of chaos, Vaatu's power rivals that of any avatar or spirit, making him one of the most dangerous beings in the universe. And finally, at the top of our list is Raava. No surprises there, the spirit of light and peace, who merged with Avatar 1 to create the Avatar cycle. Raava represents balance and harmony, and her connection to each avatar through the Avatar state gives her unmatched power. Raava's strength lies not just in her raw power, but in her ability to maintain balance in the world. Without Raava, the Avatar wouldn't exist, and the world would be consumed by chaos. Her ability to channel the combined wisdom and power of all past avatars makes her the most powerful being in the entire Avatar universe, securing her place at the top of this list. And that wraps up our list of the top 25 strongest characters in Avatar. Who do you think is the strongest? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the Avatar universe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.